Yes, we're pleased to cap off today's show as we have about 15 minutes or so left in today's program with Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He is the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center, who joins us now on the MegaCast. Dr. Greer, thanks for being with us today.
Tyler, it's great to be on the MegaCast. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So as of Saturday, September 18th, the Michigan Science Center was partially reopened with its all-new Mathalive exhibit. Tell us a little bit about Mathalive and what people may experience when they go to this exhibit.
Well, we're really excited to have Mathalive. It's an 8,000 square foot year-long experience that we have that really connects math to daily life and potential careers, STEM careers. Now, during the first part of the pandemic, we were very much concerned that many K-12 students would have trouble keeping pace with the curriculum in a virtual remote environment. And particularly what we thought would be affected were all these sequential subjects like mathematics. If you miss a day, you've missed a week in math. If you miss a week, you missed a month. And then you get so far behind and you lose confidence. Well, we wanted to help to get young people to regain that confidence and give teachers as well as parents an opportunity to have a fun experience to bring their kids to get them excited about mathematics. And so we're generously supported by the Ford Motor Company Fund, Exalta, and the Zatkoff Family Legacy Fund to bring this exhibit to you.
We're joined by Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He is the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center. And what's great about Mathalive is that it's such an interactive experience for families and for kids to learn about how math is applied into everyday life. What are some of the interactive experiences that are available that will make math's applications to daily life visibly and interactively interesting to both parents and to their children especially?
Yeah, Tyler, that's a great question. And we kind of go by the tagline here at the Michigan Science Center, we put you at the center of science, but it's really kind of the center of STEM and making sure that people don't feel like they can't do this work or they can't ask questions and seek answers using the scientific process or using math as the language of science. And so this exhibit does something really interesting. When it premiered at the Smithsonian, and we're a Smithsonian affiliate, almost 10 years ago, I think it was the original version of the exhibit, it took things that were fun in your daily life, like snowboarding or skateboarding, or things that people had questions about robots, as well as cybersecurity, and other types of things like architecture that we experience in our daily lives, and took the fun stuff and then taught you the math behind it. So one of the key exhibits that everybody loves is our snowboarding interactive. It's called Border Cross, and you learn how to snowboard down a mountain. And the more you understand about slope, about angles, about degree measure, and acceleration, the better you do. So it's kind of a fun way to engage kids and things they already love being interactive with, Tyler, which are video games and other kinds of interactive activities, including even doing a weather cast for extreme weather. So they love that.
We're joined by Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He's the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center with us to talk about their new Mathalive installation, which is designed for families and students. Brings to life real math behind what kids love most: video games, sports, fashion, music, robotics, and more. So, Dr. Greer, why math? Why focus on math? Because you mentioned earlier that the impact about the impact of virtual learning experiences and the struggles of virtual learning into what went into designing this installation and this exhibit. But of all the topics to choose from that kids may have struggled with in virtual learning over the past year and a half plus, why focus on mathematics as opposed to some of those other topics as well?
Yes, yes. Well, I studied physics in school, and I was very passionate about asking questions about the physical world and wanting to learn how the world works. But it's challenging when you actually go through and take these courses, especially upper level courses in physics. You have to also have an understanding of the math. And that mathematics can be sort of the gatekeeper to STEM careers. So it is often not really treated appropriately, in which the attention is paid to help K-12 teachers as well as parents at home help their young people in math. So you may be a parent at home with a kid that's struggling in math, and I can almost guarantee you that part of it is the way they look at it. They may not yet know how to see math visually, conceptually, or even read it as a language. And so we decided to take on math because it would give people an opportunity to be confident about pursuing STEM careers, where they take advanced calculus classes, differential equations, linear algebra. There's lots of different subjects with math that apply to the world around us, whether you want to be an engineer, a research scientist, or just someone that wants to tinker around with technology to create an invent something. Math is at the core of all of those things, and we want to help people get a better comfort level with it and improve their math proficiency.
We're joined by Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He is the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center. They have a year-long exhibit, Mathalive, that reopened on Saturday, September 18th. It's made possible through partnerships with the Ford Motor Company Fund and Exalta, and coincides with the Smithsonian's Museum Day. And the Michigan Science Center has a great partnership with the Smithsonian Museum. And how does that relationship play into some of the exhibits within this exhibit that are available to families? Because, for example, this has experiences like programming a Mars rover, creating a sustainable skyscraper, and striking a pose in a 360 degrees freeze motion photo shoot. These are things that you would think off the top of your head aren't readily available resources to the average science center and museum.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring the exhibit here. Our relationship with Smithsonian is kind of unique. But as a Smithsonian affiliate, it means we get to tap into some of the resources of the scientists. They have hundreds of scientists that work there, and they have lots of organizations like ours that are museums that are affiliated that do a variety of different best practice based programs, exemplars in STEM education. And so it's not just us. When you see the Michigan Science Center, you see us supported by all of our partnerships as well, where we don't have a scientist on neuroscience that is on staff. We can tap into Smithsonian's network to be able to bring that together to create new exhibits, new programs, and bring new media in some of our mini theaters to this region so that people can come and see and experience that. We want our science center to be as good as any other one in the country. And this is kind of a way of doing it, becoming an affiliate and getting a little support from our folks at Smithsonian.
We're joined by Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He is the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center, talking about their new Mathalive exhibit. So this is available through general admission prices. Reserve tickets at the Michigan Science Center's website at www.mi-sci or mi-sci.org. And of course, the Michigan Science Center is located at 5020 John R. Street in Midtown Detroit, and is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Wednesday through Sunday. So who is this designed for, Dr. Greer? Because it mentions it's for families and for kids. Are there certain age groups, or does this kind of span across a wide scope?
Well, usually when you design an exhibit, you're looking at ways in which you can use empathy-based design practices, meaning trying to get a feel for what people's needs are, their questions, and not only demographically, but also psychographically. So for this exhibit, it was designed for kids in 3rd through 8th grade, primarily from a content level, but it appeals to everyone. We've had a variety of people come on sort of dates even to see the exhibit, where they spend a day at the Science Center. They spend a lot of time in Mathalive doing the 360 camera, making poses and learning about other things that are featured in this exhibit. So as it typically is in a Science Center exhibit, you want it to be an intergenerational experience. And this one definitely is that, because of how much fun you can have, whether it's bodily kinesthetic fun and embodied learning, or something that really, like cybersecurity, that taps into more of the intellectual faculties that you have to try to solve problems and use your critical thinking skills.
We're joined by Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He is the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center, joining us today on the MegaCast. To celebrate its reopening, the Michigan Science Center is offering reduced rates for all guests, with admissions at $12 for everyone going through the end of September. In addition, tickets to all planetarium shows are $6 for non-members and $3 for members. Theater experiences are free with premium membership. Of course, you can learn more about all these options by going to their website and learn more about Mathalive as well on their website at mi-sci.org. Again, that is mi-sci.org. And Dr. Greer, in addition to Mathalive, what else is currently available, or what other programs maybe are upcoming at the Michigan Science Center as it continues to slowly run itself back to normal operations?
Yeah, only a small part of the Science Center is actually closed down right now. And we have many of our theaters are open, like just for De-Electricity, which happened in Midtown this past weekend, a fun exhibit of art and science and electronics. We had lasers on our buildings and other kinds of projection mapping that was taking place on our structure, which was a lot of fun. And then we showed a wonderful video that we partnered to be able to have a video for the event that happened in our planetarium. So our planetarium is still showing different videos and movies, and we even do something for early childhood and younger kids, One World, One Sky, which is a Sesame Street activity. So if your kids are interested in Big Bird, and the characters that come from Sesame Street, this is the film for you. We also do a program called Backyard Wilderness, and this is all about the wildlife and the ecosystem that's right in your backyard. And that happens in our Toyota 4D engineering theater. So if you haven't done a 4D experience where there's water sprays and your chair rocks and moves around, we have bubbles, we have lots of different fun things that create special effects in the film. It's a lot of fun, and we think you'll enjoy it. And then one of our latest exhibits, which is called Earth, Wind, and Weather. If you're excited about the weather, want to learn more about it, we have exhibits that are designed by the famous artist Ned Kahn from the Exploratorium as part of our Earth, Wind, and Weather exhibit to teach you all about the world around you.
We're joined by Dr. Chrisitan Greer. He is the president and the CEO of the Michigan Science Center with us today on the MegaCast. Dr. Greer, just another minute or two with you today before we'll say goodbye. What else should people be on the lookout for coming up in the future at the Michigan Science Center, or anything else that would be interesting or important for our audience to know today about the Michigan Science Center, about Mathalive, or anything else you'd like to speak on?
Well, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to talk about it. You know, one of the things we really want to make sure that we do, as I mentioned earlier, is put people at the center of science. A lot of times you may click on something on a website and you might say, I'm really interested in this and want to learn more, but you may not know enough in your sort of framework for learning about science and STEM to be able to truly explore those areas. We believe that it is very important, not only for K-12, for STEM careers and the pipeline, but also pathways to lifelong learning and general literacy in STEM and numeracy in math. And so this is an important thing that we feel as a community STEM hub that we want to do for our region and for our state. One thing I haven't talked about, if you're listening to the MegaCast and you're somewhere that's not in Midtown Detroit, we will come to you. So through Aramco Traveling Science Program, we go all over the state, especially in the summer, we go a lot up to the UP and in other places to try and bring science to and STEM to other communities. We've been to probably about 80% of the counties in Michigan, and we hope to explore more. So just go to our website at mi-sci.org and learn about our traveling science program, and we would be very happy to come out and check you out.
Well, Dr. Greer, we appreciate your time. A really interesting program you've got going over there at the Michigan Science Center right now down in Midtown Detroit with Mathalive, and we appreciate giving us some insight on what went into developing this program, who it is for, how people can access it, as well as everything else that's going on down at the Science Center. Thank you for your time today.
Well, Tyler, thank you very much for having me, and thanks for having us on the MegaCast.